Hey, I'm Moita and welcome to Moveblocks. Today we'll be doing our first Moveblocks flow. It's a combination of 7 different blocks of movement or move blocks targeting our strength, mobility, focus and coordination. There's no timer today, so just follow my lead and let's go! Stand with your feet hip-width apart. Keeping your back flat and core engaged, push your hips back and lower your torso so it's almost parallel to the floor. Bend the knees and sit into a deep squat. Place one arm on the floor and with the other reach to the sky and feel the stretch in your lower back. Return into a flat back by extending the legs and finish the movement in a standing position. We're gonna do this section for 4 more times to really engage our body and start to warm it up. So 3 more, we go down and stretch. Feel the spinal rotation in this position. We go up and this is the final stretch for this set, and we finish the first block in a deep squat and push with our elbows to our knees if we can to really deepen that stretch. Place your hands behind you, sit back and let's do 5 hip twists starting to the left. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now engage your core and go into a sitting position. Lift your right leg up, keeping it parallel to the floor, and extend the leg forward. Transfer the weight onto your right leg by helping yourself with the hand and squeezing the glutes. Lengthen the movement and push your hips front and down towards the heel. Sit back, hover the leg above the floor and place it back down. Now twist in your hips and change the side. Lift your leg up, extend forward, transfer the weight and deepen the stretch. Sit back, hover the leg over the floor and place it back down. Twist the hips, lift the leg forward. Now, if you can, try to follow me and do it without the help of your hands. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. I'm increasing the speed a little, so we also work on keeping our heart rate up and at the same time stretching our muscles and making more space in our joints. So we finish this block of movement by placing the hands on the floor and making our way to a downward dog. Take some time here. And roll your back into a Cobra position, keeping your knees still above the floor. Go into a low push-up and stay above the ground. Start twisting the foot to the opposite side into a scorpion position. Do the same with the opposite foot and really feel the stretch in your spine. If this is hard, try placing your body on the floor. Go into a Cobra, jump into a bear, and continue to downward dog. We're gonna do this movement for 5 more times. So in this position you can really feel a good stretch in your back, going into Cobra, bear, and downward dog. Rolling the spine, pushing down, and scorpion. Cobra, bear, and downward dog. Increase the speed and we do this for 2 more rounds. Last time. Jump into a bear and downward dog. Now take some time in this position before we move on to the next block. We start in a loaded bear, so transfer the weight on your toes and sit on your heels. Extend the legs into a plank. Bring one leg to the chest and extend it to the opposite side. Now push your hips as close to the floor as you can, with your knees still above the mat. Return into a plank and change the leg. Extend the leg. Think about pushing the shoulders away from your ears and lengthening the spine. Return to a plank and sit on your heels in a loaded bear. So 4 more times we do this movement, really feeling the stretch here and pushing the shoulders away from our ears. Go back to a loaded bear. Extend the legs. 3 more times. Increase the speed a little more. 2. One more. Rest a bit in this position. We're gonna start the new block with a step into a lunge. Kick up with your left leg to activate the glutes. Now slowly and with control lower your knee, trying to place it right beside the right foot. Sit back and open your arms, looking backwards to deepen the spinal rotation. Place the hands on the floor, kick up, and exchange the legs. So glute kick, place the knee on the floor, sit, and stretch. We go back where we came from and change the leg. If you feel like it, you can try doing the combination without placing the hands on the floor. This will test your balance and stability as well. We're gonna intensify the flow by jumping straight into an opposite lunge. You can still do the first version if you prefer. What helps me with the balance is that I focus on one point on the floor. Also try to have your back as parallel to the floor as you can. So jump, place the knee and stretch. We have one more round. So we jump, try to balance, placing the knee to the floor and stretching. One last lunge and we go back to a downward dog and rest for a bit. Transfer the weight onto your toes and go into a loaded bear. We're gonna jump with our left leg towards our hands and push our right leg through. Reach with your hands over your head and squeeze the glutes. Sit and try to touch the floor with your knee by closing the hip. To transition to the other side, place the hand on the floor, lift your hips up, push yourself into a little jump, land on your right foot and pull the left leg through. Reach over, open the hips and stretch. Try to place your knee as close as you can to the other leg. We're gonna do this movement for 4 more times. So play with the transition to the other side. And if you can, try to spend more and more time on your hands. Once you get used to the movement, try to increase the speed. So jump, reach over, open the hips and come back down. We'll do 2 more transitions before we end this block of movement. So really deepen that stretch and play with the handstand transition. One more. And we're gonna finish this sequence by finding our way into a deep squat. Wiggle a bit and slowly push your knees with your elbows to open the hips even more. Place your hands behind you and sit down. Push into the floor with your hands and transfer the weight front, trying to touch the floor with your knees. But if that's not possible, find a position that feels good for you. Transfer back into a sitting position, hold your hands front and roll down with control. Place your arms to the side, engage your glutes by lifting your hips, reach with your right arm over your head and roll onto your left shoulder. Exchange the arms with a circular motion, reach with your hand over and roll onto your right shoulder. Return to a neutral position. Place the hips back down and lift yourself up. Place the hands on the ground, push, transfer the weight onto your toes and stretch. Go down, place the hands sideways and roll over to your shoulder. We do one last round and then slowly finish the flow. Coming up with control and finding our way into a deep squat. Grab your ankles and stretch. Slowly roll up and finish the flow. I hope you enjoyed and see you next time.